bigger than yours.
Escort this novice out.
Yeah, so get this. Fiberglass shell of a Ferrari. Underneath that is a Volkswagen engine. It was quieter for filming. It was a Ferrari engine too loud, so they didn't. Anybody see that shark? In the back, that Duesenberg, the replica there, the tan one, that was from The Mummy, starring Oscar winner Brendan Fraser. And then Dominic Toretto's Black Charger right there from Fast and Furious. And he's about Mother, and Mother was worried about a movie around you. Was created for what turns out to be about a 4-minute part. And the
built to showcase an unbelievable new live show.
Those that are heading up the escalator know that the next frog choir...
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hollywood. My name's Rob. I'll be your tour guide. So great to have you on board. So we're going to get ready to take an amazing adventure. Over here on your right-hand side, that's a 400-acre movie studio, the front and back lot. Because out here at Universal, we have more than 108 years of movie-making experience and history. This is only a small sample of some of the thousands and thousands of films that we've released throughout the years here. Maybe one or two of your favorites, definitely some Oscar winners. And hey, if there's a title that catches your eye and you haven't seen it yet, try your streaming services, because most of these are all available out there as that we're on out here. This place is so big, we're considered our own city. And like any city or town across this country, we need certain things in order to operate every day. For example, guess what? We have our very own fire department. This time of the year, though, it looks a little different than everybody else's fire department, because who else has a minion hanging out in front there but we do? It's Hollywood, man. Gotta take advantage of that. At Universal Studios Fire Station 51, a real working fire department. The job of these firefighters to make sure that we are safe on the front lot, the back lot, up in the theme park as well. We have a medical facility, sheriff's substation, a bank, a dry cleaner, even our own zip code. There's a point to all my bragging, okay, I promise you. That's because the man you're about to see on your screens here, our founder, Carl Lemley, wanted to create a one-stop location where you could film all the way up to the release. And we do that here at Universal Studios every single day. As we work our way down to the end of the timeline, we're getting closer to the next part of the tour, and that is called the front lot. Down here on the front lot, we have more than 30 different sound stages, and take a look on your left, we're expanding. We're adding new sound stages, screening rooms, what else? Production offices. This stage, stage 12, used to be home to The Voice for several seasons. Taylor Swift recorded her music video in there, and it was also used for Scarface. You remember that scene where Al Pacino introduces you to his little friend? That was all filmed inside stage 12. So now we're just about down onto the front lot. Even though it's Saturday, we're still working out here. As we go by these sound stages, I'll be keeping an eye on the red lights, okay? The red lights are next to the door, above the door, sometimes in both cases. If they're flashing, that lets me know they're filming inside, and I'll jump off the microphone because the sound stages are not 100% soundproof. They're more like 98 to 99%. Let me give you a little Hollywood lingo you can impress your friends with. So you know what we call those red lights? They're called wigwag lights. And then when they're flashing, we actually refer to it as burning in the industry, and we don't go in because they're actually doing some work. Over here on your left-hand side, these last two sound stages are two of the three that are currently being used for Bel Air, which is a dramatic version of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and you can watch that on the Peacock streaming service. In fact, I got a couple of the stars from the series who wanted to tell you about some of the fun that they've been having on the show.
You just got me water when you can. So what it is, you put egg on the cheese. You put cheese on the eggs, on the cheese. It's right. Whoa, how many seats do you think are in there? I don't know, it's gotta be a lot. Man, we could probably fit the whole Bel Air cast and crew in there. No, we gotta get one of these for the mansion. For sure. Yo, lucky for y'all, the Bates family mansion lives right here on the Universal lot. Right. Some of Bel Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments? I don't know, I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, I remember before your set when Will first enters, and at that moment, his life changes forever. What about you? Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you having to sit in that cold ice bath for hours. Yeah. And that was really fun. I still can't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together, from hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Nice for us to play with. Actually, speaking of, if we're gonna get a ride like this, we better go talk to Transport now and let these people get back to their tour. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. As long as I get to drive. Oh, not if I've got the keys. Oh, not for one of them. Come on, man.
And you can check out Bel Air on Peacock. So over here on our left-hand side, we're going by one of Universal Studios' post-production facilities. They work on shows like Bella in there. What do? They do editing. Sometimes they have to fix what we call color correction, the video that was filmed. Directly over here on your left-hand side, when Jabari Banks was talking about some of his favorite sets from the series. So over here on your left-hand side, this facade is part, so you want to get some pictures of it, go for it. You'll see it in an upcoming episode. And as we pull forward, you'll get a better idea of what it looks like. It looks like it's like, man, the Grinch, I tell you, you never know. Well, you never know what's going to happen out here. In fact, I got your second celebrity sighting of the day. You ready? Left-hand side, Ted the Bear. I know, some of you are like, Rob, that's such a bad joke. But listen, he's excited. I mean, how many of us can say we got our own TV show? That little guy can. Starts in January on Peacock. Ted stands in front of these great bungalows that used to be dressing rooms for some of Hollywood's most famous celebrities. Jimmy Stewart, Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Sylvester Stallone all had dressing rooms in here. They're now offices for talented writers, directors, and producers here in Hollywood. Typically, you do see big-name celebrities coming and going from these doors all the time because a lot of casting happens in here. Who works in these bungalows? Who knows the name Jordan Peele? Maybe you saw Nope, I'm doing it all up. Us, Get Out, we'll talk about all those. His company's called Monkey Paw Productions. Also, Mark Platt, he produced La La Land, and they're working on Wicked's Part 1 and 2, starring Ariana Grande. That'll be coming up soon. Look down there on your left, you see a Wicked balloon and an MP, that's his office. But there's one bungalow that looks different from all the other ones because there's a silhouette painted on the wall over here on your left-hand side. Bungalow 5195, that used to be Alfred Hitchcock's old office.
Lou said he could move into that office. I said, no, I can never be in Hitchcock's office. That should be a shrine, a museum.
Very exciting, just to know that he was there and walk by and know he was in that office. Hitchcock was every direction.
I saw Hitchcock once walking around the commissary.
Hitchcock had his bungalow on the lot. I used to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
I loved working with him. I highly respect him. He really understood fear and terror.
The Birds? That was a really scary movie.
The Birds? Oh man, that had me looking at crows like for the next 10 years.
Psycho, of course. Vertigo was one of the all-time great masterpieces. Hitchcock was master.
And as we turn the corner, that's Backlot. It's my favorite part of the tour. You're probably going to see why, okay? Over here on your right-hand side, this area is called our Metropolitan Sets. It's about 4 acres in size. These are not real buildings. They're facades. It's the front and side. That's not real brick and mortar, it's foam, rubber, and plastic as well. We'll go inside there in a second, but I got a couple things I want to show you before we do that. It's hard to imagine what these facades look like in an actual production. So I have a scene over there on your right. You see those brownstones? This is from Bruce Almighty.
Place the door!
Watch.
I'm in the shower! It's like that.
So there you go. I'll pause it there for a second. You can sort of, as we go by, you can compare it. That's pretty cool though, huh? Looks different because look at what they've done. They brought in what we call picture cards. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But you got Jim Carrey, the dog. You got some background actors.
Oh, you're done now. Great. B-E-A-U.
Now this tram only goes about 8 to 10 miles an hour, but if I could get it up to say 88 miles an hour, you know what I do? I bring you all back to the future. I can't do that. But what I can do is bring you to Hill Valley and Courthouse Square. In fact, take it in right now. That road that we're just traveling down, that's where the DeLorean got up to 88 miles an hour and boom, went back in time. Over there on your left, there it is. Looks a little different. Some of you may be saying, hey, wait a second, Rob. That's not exactly the way it was in the film. You are 100% correct. That facade, the front of that became so recognizable, other productions wanted to use it, so they made some changes. But look through those front doors, because right underneath there is the original set from Back to the Future. So a little trivia. Anybody realize that the DeLorean was not originally going to be the time-traveling device? You know what it was going to be? A refrigerator. Can you imagine Marty McFly jumping into a refrigerator and going back in time? I cannot. What if you have scenes and you need a big city? You don't have to go far in our back lot. Watch Jose as he turns the corner here because, woo! Anybody getting homesick? These streets have been about every city imaginable. Over here on your right-hand side, what looks like a movie theater in Hobbs and Shaw, that was actually the nightclub. These streets are also used for American Ninja Warrior. They film the competition rounds out here. They do it at night. That way the sun doesn't get in the eyes of one competitor over another and create it.
So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal line.
And that's what it looks like behind the scenes. The camera can slide along the tracks there. The art department, set designers, they create the rest of the illusion that this is New York. Using your eyes, follow them all the way up to the top. Notice how those windows get smaller the further on up you go? We do that on purpose. It's called forced perspective, and it makes these buildings look a lot larger than what they really are, because in all reality, they're only 40 to 50 feet tall. But at home and in the movie theaters, we got you all fooled. Also, did you notice how those were some of the shortest city blocks you've ever been on? It's done on purpose as well. Think about it. And it's designed to work with some incredible directors that we've had out here throughout the years. I mentioned a few of them. I can add Steven Spielberg to that, Quentin Tarantino, Angelina Jolie, and one of my favorites, Mr. Peter Jackson.
Creatures from, prehistoric times.
I could hear a little bit of screaming, I heard some laughing, and I thought I heard crying too. That's okay, listen, I do not judge, okay? You can't see it, but when I go through, I close my eyes like this, and I do it 4 times a day, because it gets scary, right? So now, I make it less scary, because I can show you the behind-the-scenes look of King Kong 360 3D. You just survived some of the world's largest digital 3D screens, standing over 40 feet tall and 180 feet long, utilizing some of the most advanced technology in filmmaking today. Designed by Peter Jackson, the team at Weta Effects, they've won Oscars for their work, and that's what it looks like with the lights on, not so scary. But when we turned them off, well, I think maybe a couple of you were a little scared. A little. Guess what? Coming up over here on our left-hand side, we're going to drive through Universal Studios picture car section. These cars became almost as famous as the stars who drove them. From American Graffiti, that's the 1932 Ford Deuce Coupe, directed by George Lewis. Yeah, Magnum PI. So get this. Fiberglass shell of a Ferrari. Underneath that is a Volkswagen engine. It was quieter for filming. It was a Ferrari engine too loud, so they did that. And then you see this car all nice and shiny there, but I like these. Yabba-dabba-doo. Fred, Barney, Wilma had these out for a spin. No engines in there, they had to use their feet. During production, they hooked up a steel cable from the front, pulled it along, make it look like they were moving. Harry Potter fans recognize the Fort Anglia. I like this from Jurassic World, the Gyrossphere. They added the plexiglass later because it would have reflected the cameras. They did that in post-production. Even a boat can be a picture car from Jordan Peele's Us, the Wilson family boat crawdaddy. And then look closely at this Bradley infantry fighting vehicle as we go by. I'm going to give you a secret. That thing's actually made out of plywood. Do you believe it? Sometimes they do that. If you don't have to see it driving in the scene, the director wants to change the shot. It's a lot faster to use a crane. Pick it up, move it around, put it back down than it is used typically. Okay, I promise you more adventures. Let's get ready for our next one.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yes, on either side of this tram, you're beginning to notice some of the original props from the series of films, including those dinosaurs. So you still have your cameras out or getting video stills, whatever, it's up to you. Over here on your left-hand side, there's 4 in this. Wait a second. Maybe they meant. Oh no. Wait a second. They're all. Now you're scared. Okay, you're right. These dinosaurs are back on the loose. That's the Mobile Command Center from Lost World. Also made out of plywood, but honestly, I'm so distracted right now. I can't see with that mist. You know how creepy and spooky those dinosaurs are? They could be anywhere. Let's be careful. Oh no. Car 3 and 4, brace yourself, they found us. Ooh, they knew what was coming. Y'all had no idea, but I was watching the reactions. They were good. Seriously, people are like shy. Don't be shy, because what is today? Saturday. On Monday, we start new auditions out here in Hollywood. I think a few of you ought to stick around, try an audition or two. You never know. You could become the next big star, and you got your start here on the studio tour. Just remember the little people like Rob and Jose help make that happen. Let's leave that island behind off to Costa Rica, head further into our back lot. Look at this. So the island goes right into the desert, only in Hollywood. Cars 2, 3, and 4. Good to see you. Come on down. Got more things to show you. Now, I live out here in sunny Southern California, where the weather is nearly perfect every day. And look, I'm not complaining. But what if I have a scene and I needed a storm? How would I do that? Welcome to Old Mexico. I'm going to show you how. What'll happen over here on your left-hand side, you see some puddles out there. So we've done this a few times already. We're going to add to it. First thing, when you hear a storm, right? There you go. Thunder. That's just a loudspeaker. And the lightning you see on the buildings over there, that's actually a strobe light. And with the flip of a switch, I can actually make it rain. Watch this. I'll turn it up. You're my favorite group so far, so I'm going to turn it on higher than I should, because I want to impress you. Okay, so, ooh, that's a lot though. We use a very, very fancy and expensive system to do this. It's called a sprinkler system. But the sprinklers are pointed up, shoots water into the air, comes down, and creates a storm. Add that lightning, strobe lights, some thunder. That's how we do it, just like that. Really simple. Ooh. Wow, that's too much though. I gotta shut it down. Oh no, it's not going off. Last time this happened, I almost got fired. It created a huge mess. It can't happen again or I'm really in trouble. Oh, no, it did. It's a flash flood. If you're in a blue seat, you may get wet. They're all blue. And car 1, you're not safe either, by the way. Let's see what happens today. Oh! I tried to warn you. Our tour is now approximately at the halfway mark. I just wanted to remind everybody to stay seated during the entire tour. The studio is private property, and if you drop your phone, you just can't wait to use the restroom. Pull the red cord to get my attention. I'll be back to assist you, but do remain seated on the tram. Thank you so much. Nacho Libre fans, you may recognize some of these sets. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Lady Gaga in her music video, Judas, she stood in the middle of flash flood, did her own stunt work, and then they had a dance sequence in front of the church over there. But you're now on the sets of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino. You remember that scene where Luke Perry rides in on his horse surrounded by his men? Well, he rides right down here into 6 Points, and that's where Jose is taking us now. If you've seen the film, you may remember that this is where Brad Pitt drops off Leonardo DiCaprio for a day of work on the TV show Lancer. One of my favorite films, so I remember this one scene very well. Happened over here on your left-hand side. It was a saloon in the film. On one side, Leo sat in his director's chair, and the other side, Julia Butters. They filmed the rest inside there because it's a practical set. You can do that. But when we film a Western out here, we really have to... We just have to talk it out, that's all. And I mentioned that the voice, they move sound stages. Let me show you. As we turn the corner here, you get a better view. They're working out of stages 30, 31, 32, and 33 right over there. This area, we call it Park Lake, but it doubled as the Amazon River in 1954 for Creature from the Black Lagoon. McHale's Navy also filmed out there in the mid-80s. I'm showing my age, but the mid-80s there was this TV show called Tales of the Gold Monkey. Starred Stephen Collins, murder mystery type show on ABC. They built a monkey bar hotel out there, and they had this huge seaplane called Cutter's Goose. And it was supposed to be this exotic location of like Bora Bora. That would cost a ton to take a crew that far, so they didn't have it in the budget. They created it on our back lot. That happens more often than you probably realize. If you don't have a big budget, you can't afford to travel overseas, we got a great option for you, and it's called Little Europe. That's where we're headed to right now, but I'll be honest with you. For several seasons, though, it was part of The Good Place. And if you're familiar with the TV show The Good Place, then you already know all about the afterlife. But I bet you've never been, so hold on. As we get ready to turn the corner here, Jose is going to bring us into the afterlife. And if you haven't seen the series starring Kristen Bell and Ted Danson, I got a few scenes I can show you. You can see what these sets look like in the show.
You, Eleanor Shustra.
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Yeah, but look at this area. So, as we come up these cobblestone streets, look over to your right-hand side. You see this alleyway there? That was used in Pirates of the Caribbean, starring Johnny Depp, Black Pearl. This also, you're really close to these facades, so if you want to go ahead and do a special on our studio tour, because it's where our Universal Studios monsters got their start. Dracula, Frankenstein, the werewolf. Over there on your right, That's the Court of Miracles, and some of these scenes were filmed right there.
Listen now, the monster. He's in the woods. Get out of that house. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. I'm ready! Take your torches and go!
We're coming down what we call Denver Street, and at the very end here on your right, some of our oldest Western sets out on our lot. Some big barroom brawls happen right here.
You're just going to stir things up here. That I am.
How dare you hit that man?
Now, it is such a gorgeous morning. As I mentioned, you're my favorite group already today. I got a special treat for you. You know where we're going to head to? We're going to head to the beach, Amity Island from Steven Spielberg's Jaws. So everyone, please remain seated. Keep your hands and feet inside the tram at all times. Now, I know the sign says beach closed. I wasn't going to tell you this, but we did have a major problem out here this morning. I'm honest. I just got to be honest, though. There was a huge shark on the loose, but they caught it. And if you don't believe me, there it is hanging at the end of the pier. If you want, you can get some pictures of it. Hashtag it Big Fishy. I don't care. It's your social media. It's up to you. Do what you like. Isn't this gorgeous, though? I've had so much leftover turkey lately, I'm really in the mood for seafood. So I'm thinking maybe bubblegum shrimp after work, or Antonito's fish tacos. Nobody's listening. What's going on? Oh, no. There's another shark. Okay, listen, everyone. We're safe on the pier, but stay seated, okay? I gotta call this one. Give me 1 second. Wait. Oh, no. That's my friend George. He's still in the water. George? George, get back to the boat. George, you gotta move faster than that. There's a second shark. We all saw. Oh! He was one of my closest chums. My ride home, he was a brave man. He had a lot of guts, and they're swimming in front of me right now. Keep an eye on that white barrel at the end of the pier. We put some bait underneath there. If it moves, we know the shark is still in this area. But it looks like things. Wait, there goes the barrel and the pier. What are those cans say? Gasoline? This is a horrible idea, Jose. It's my fault. Horrible. Shark. Oh my gosh, what were you all yelling and screaming about? You knew it was a fake shark. By the way, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. I love watching your reactions. There are some things I couldn't say. I could read your lips, but it's a family tour. I can't add those things on there. So, let me introduce you to the shark. A lot of you have already probably heard this, but the shark's name's Bruce. What you may not know, though, he was named after Steven Spielberg's attorney. That's a true story. Now, Bruce worked perfectly for us. That was certainly not the case when they filmed the movie Jaws on the East Coast. He was quite a handful, to say the least. And you know what? Let Steven Spielberg tell you that story.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio news. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The shark was well enough. For a while there, it had the music all the time. So I really owned the shark a lot.
And over on your left-hand side, if this area looks familiar to you, well, I bet you're a fan of Murder, She Wrote, because this was Cabot Cove. And over on your left-hand side, that's Elm Street, the house on the corner. That was Boo Radley's home in To Kill a Mockingbird. We also create residential neighborhoods out here as well. So as we work our way up this hill on your right-hand side, we call this area, that facade, a chicken ranch, the Chicken Ranch. It's got a practical set so you can film inside of it. These productions all used it. So let us, normally this area is closed, but I want to bring you down one of our residential areas. It's called Colonial Street. So it's open today. You get a chance to see it. Some of you, though, may immediately recognize this as something different than Colonial Street. What about Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives?
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
What the heck? Let's move that.
Colonial Street. So Superstore fans, you may remember the series finale. The cast gathers together in a backyard for a barbecue. That's the backyard over there, the one with the tree fort. A little bit more about this neighborhood. We have our own landscaping crew, carpenters. During the years of Desperate Housewives, a lot of the facades became practical sets. More picture cars. I thought you'd love to check these out. They're coming up over here on our right-hand side. On my last tour, at least yesterday, let me see if it's... Oh yeah, Bumblebee from Transformers. That's definitely one of my favorites. Smith's Piano Service, that's from Oh Brother We're Out Though, starring George Clooney. Then you see in the back that Duesenberg, the replica there, the tan one. That was from The Mummy, starring Oscar winner Brendan Fraser. And then Dominic Toretto's Black Charger right there from Fast and Furious. He's right. A couple more cars from Fast and Furious as well. I wouldn't park anything there, though, for a very good reason. It's the next door neighbor. Even at this time of the year, you think the Grinch has an attitude? Yeah. The Grinch makes this guy look like, well, I don't know, the Grinch looks really nice compared to this. In fact, maybe you're familiar with who this person is. Have you heard the name Norman Bates? Because he owns the Bates Motel from Alfred Hitchcock's film Psycho. So the good news is, he's been in prison for a number of years, and it's been closed. But what I'm trying to figure out right now is that I see the office door open. I don't know if it's going to be under new ownership or what's happening, but you know, I'll find out at the end of the tour. I'm going to go in and ask my bosses, like, if somebody bought this area. Oh no, that's him. That's Norman Bates. He's not supposed to be here. I don't want to hang out. When he closes the door, let me know. We'll take off. Anybody see what he's doing in there? Oh, whoa. That's going to get a bad Yelp review. Oh, you heard that. Hey, Norman. It's been a long time since I've seen you, but I've seen that look before. Norman! Put that knife away, Norman. Uh-oh. We got to get out of here, Jose. Norman, I want to tell Mom. This is the holidays, Norman. Nothing changes with this guy. You may remember the movie that Norman was always worried about Mother, and Mother was worried about, whoa, Norman. They live in that creepy-looking house coming up over here on your left-hand side. As we go by this house, one of the original sets from Alfred Hitchcock's film Psycho. And now, welcome to Steven Spielberg's set, War of the Worlds. You can see how massive this is and all the detail that went into creating it. As we drive through here, keep this thing you see around you was created for what turns out to be about a 4-minute part in the actual film. All this for 4 minutes, you believe it? Here, let me, I want to show you a scene, a short scene. You can see what it looked like. Now that is a real 747 plane. It had been retired, so production got a really, really good deal on it. It was being stored in the desert in Arizona. They bought it for about $60,000. They cut it up into pieces, shipped it out here to California. That cost $200,000. Yeah, that's why you always got to read the fine print to get you with the shipping and handling charges every time. I know. You're almost done with my bad jokes, okay? I promise. Universal's been fortunate to work with generation-defining directors like Alfred Hitchcock and Steven Spielberg, and we're thrilled to be partnering with Academy Award-winning writer-director Jordan Peele. Just a moment, we'll be taking to Jupiter's Claim.
This is Jupiter's Claim, the nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. episode live in the book. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, the gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the youth. Welcome to the world of no.
I think we ought to take that advice and get out. This is definitely not for us. Hold on a second, I'm getting an emergency alert. Something's going on. Let me just patch the call in. Hey, Agent, what's wrong?
Look, this might be more serious than I thought.
More serious than a UFO? I doubt it.
This is a secure line.
Anybody recognize this guy?
I'll tell you who I am, boys. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. There's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come. He'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
It is now, stink pickle.
I'm so tired of you stink guys stepping in. Just whatever you feel like.
Mute him.
FBI, don't move. That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's like that.
First of all, I don't work for you. Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop us and just clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on Friday.
Sure traced us. Cops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Try to move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
I need you and Letty ready to roll.
All right, folks, things are about to get real interesting for those guys. For you guys, things are about to get dark and a little bit boring. We're going to go to a parking garage to just find out until we get the all clear, okay? Sound good? Go ahead and put on your 3D glasses. Your 3D glasses can double as a sleeping mask. You can take a little nap in here. Don't mind the ambient gunfire. That's probably nothing. Okay, so just put it to that out, lay back, relax, and wake up if anything exciting happens.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn. Way to go, buddy. Don't run into the missile shot. Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this. Rocket don't shoot. Head for the bridge. Under injection. Hit the nitrous. Ride and die.
And I want to thank you all for being part of our crew here on the world-famous Universal Studios tour. Let's give our driver Jose a round of applause for a job well done. Thank you, Jose. He's going to bring us on back to the 400-acre lot that we just traveled through. You can see beyond us is Warner Brothers, so you're literally here in the heart of the entertainment industry in the San Fernando Valley. Thanks for coming out to Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. We're almost back to the tram plaza, but please remain seated until the tram comes to a complete stop and one of our tour ambassadors unlocks these gates. That's our signal. It's safe to stand up and then carefully exit the tram. If you could do us a favor, those 3D glasses as you exit, if you could put those in the blue bins in front of you, that would be fantastic. I appreciate that. But your day here in Hollywood, by the way, is never officially over until you hear these words. That's a wrap, everyone. You were fantastic. Thank you so much. We'll see you all in the movies. Have a great afternoon here at Universal Studios.